Hello, Miss Lusk. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. It's good to see you back in Iowa. Just got a new position at Wartburg. Congratulations. What are you excited about being back in Iowa?
Yeah, I'm super excited to be back.
Um, so how did this happen? How I know you were in Iowa, you were working for a while, moved back home to Idaho. How did you get back to Iowa?
Yeah, so I was in Idaho the last year, coaching high school and then club. Um, Kind of on the club scene. We were at Fargo and talking to Team Iowa. They just were my people, and like that's who I was hanging out with the whole 2 weeks. I was there for the boys and the girls. Got talking and just Idaho was great. It just wasn't exactly what I was looking for or looking for long term. So from word of mouth, kind of word got out there throughout the 2 weeks there, and coaches heard that I was maybe looking or open to other opportunities, and ended up talking to a few coaches, like college coaches. Um, Talked to Coach Kiner at Wartburg and went through the interview process at a couple schools, and just Wartburg felt like the place to come and felt like home. And I've known Brady for a couple years now. We've come to their team camp and stuff. So yeah, just finally made the decision a couple weeks ago. Said yes, moved here on Sunday, and have been here this last week. Yeah,
Wow. So that was kind of a quick turnaround, really. I mean, that's
yeah,
you've only been back for a week. That's awesome. We met at Grandview,
hmm
so that I mean you've been in Iowa, a little bit of difference between NAIA and Division three.
yeah.
And I've kind of worked with coaches on both ends of it. Um, D3 has a lot more rules.
They do.
They, they're crazy picky. And then there's kind of a no athletic scholarships, but there's money. There's still money there. Do you know how much of the recruiting you're going to get into? Are you going to be out on the road recruiting? Or are you going to be in that room training people?
Um, I'm hoping to do both, obviously. I actually am really interested in the recruiting aspect of it. I haven't got to do a ton of that working with high school athletes. But I would like to get out there, preseason nationals, folk style nationals, like some of those bigger events that happen to be right in Iowa. I think it'd be super fun to get to do that. And then obviously I'll be in the room as much as I can and as many opportunities as I get to do that and train the girls.
Awesome. So I guess I haven't even like said who you were really yet. So we're talking to Sami Lusk. She's new assistant coach at Wartburg. She wrestled for Grandview, so she's been an Iowa girl for a while. Why don't we go back to the Grandview days first, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about your coaching. How was your experience at Grandview?
It was great. Yeah. I mean,
How many years were you 4 years at Grandview?
yep, I went all 4 years there. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to see kind of a transition in that team from, I mean, it was you were in the first few years of that team to now, a perennial, one of the top teams in the NAIA. What was some of the things that you saw happened in that transition that you might be able to use? Because you're kind of in the same boat. Wartburg's in its first 3 years, transitioning. They've always been a powerhouse on the men's side, and they're definitely very good, but they're in that transition period too. What are some things that you can see there that maybe translate?
Yeah, I'd say Warburg's really similar to Grandview in the fact that they have a very established men's team. Um, so it's really nice for the girls program to be able to look at their team and how successful they've been and like what they're doing to get there. So when I was at Grandview, we were very integrated with the men's team and looking at what they did. Trying not to copy what they do, right? But taking a lot of what they're doing and taking that outline and just building on it for the women's team. So I think at Warburg they kind of do the same thing. I've only been here the last week, but their men's team and the coaches are fantastic. Like they've been super welcoming to me, and I can just see already that they are there for the women's team as much as they need and are there to help. I know they do some workouts together as the team, like the men's and women's will do some workouts together. So I think it's great. I think in the first few years, it's a lot of understanding that you have a young team and kind of building around that, right? You don't need to expect perfection, but just expect growth and progression and really fostering them as people. Like, of course, you want results on the mat, obviously. Like, everyone wants to win and wants to do well on the mat. But if you focus on the things outside, like classes, academics, how they're doing in their personal lives, their personal lives, if they're getting along with their peers, like just how they're doing as people, everything else will come. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Very good. Your high school career, obviously, you must have had a decent high school career out in Idaho that led you to Grandview. Um, how was your high school years wrestling?
Yeah, so I actually only wrestled my senior year of high school. I had played basketball my whole entire life. Didn't really work out my senior year to play on the team. I went to my high school wrestling coaches. I was close with them. I was like, "Can I please be a stats girl? Like, I just need to do something this winter." And then they're like, "Yep, that's fine." One of my really best friends was a wrestler, and we went to a middle school tournament. I was like, "Oh, there's a lot of girls here. Like, that's cool." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It's becoming a thing. Like in Idaho, there's separate girls tournaments, separate girls divisions. Like, you could try it." So, long story short, I tried it and I kind of picked up on it pretty quickly. And my coach was like, "Yeah." So I rodeoed. Also, I rodeoed my whole life, and that was like my main thing. I was gonna go to college, and I was gonna college rodeo. And then my senior year, I done well in high school season. So my coach told my mom, "She's not rodeoing this spring. She's gonna do freestyle." Mom's like, "No," and he's like, "Yep, she's gonna go to college." Mom's like, she's not that good. She's good. Is she good enough for college?" He goes, "Yeah, she's good enough." And then college just started calling, and here we are. Grandview called, and it was kind of a no brainer. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So what did you, I was actually a question down the road. I was going to ask you about other sports that you did. So rodeo, what all did you do in rodeo?
I did barrels and poles were my main, and then I did queening, which is like pageants, but for rodeo. Yeah, so those were like my three main, and then I did some other little events. Like I roped a little bit, but not a ton, and yeah, barrels main.
Never rode the bulls though.
No, no, not that.
But I can see where actually I've had some friends that were in rodeo and they were very good wrestlers, especially riding, like leg riding and stuff like that. They were incredible because I think that just you learn how to ride legs or you learn how to ride a horse. That's pretty cool. Um, and that is, yeah, I kind of at a loss there. I didn't realize you were a rodeo person, but that's pretty cool. Where would have you went for rodeo? Because I know there's a few bigger universities that have it, and there's a few places in Iowa I think that have it. Where were you thinking about going?
Yeah. So in high school, I was pretty stuck on going to Weber State University in Utah.
Okay.
They have a pretty good rodeo team, and I don't know why in my head I was just really stuck on going there, and I was gonna go college rodeo there, but I really wasn't looking at other schools. That was like the place I was stuck on going.
And then just ended up coming to Iowa.
Yeah,
We're a little more flat than Idaho and Utah.
yeah,
And now you're back here. So let's start just talk let's talk about coaching a little bit. Um, what are some of the things you hope to bring to your new team, and to the athletes? You
yeah,
as Sammy.
yeah. One, just my personal experience. Like I've been there, I've done it. Like I went to college, I wrestled, I did the weight cuts, like, and I did it as a girl, right? Like it's great to have coaches in general. Like good coaches are good coaches, but I feel like females can just bring a little bit of different aspect to it. I think I have that female edge of like I'm relatable. I am young. I'm closer to their age, so I can relate more to them. Like I said, I've been there. I've done it, and then really, I think there's so many people that can teach wrestling and technique. Like there are a million great wrestlers that can teach that, and I 100% can teach that, and I will teach that. I'll show the technique, and I'll be their practice partner. I'll do whatever they need on the mat. But I really want to focus a lot on when I bring nutrition. So I am back working with Ekin too, and we're working with Wartburg. So I kind of get to be the person at Wartburg that works with them, and so our women's team kind of gets an edge on that. Of they have access to me day to day basis.
Yep.
So one, give them that nutritional edge. Two, like really focus on their mental and their mindset. I feel like that's a lot. It gets what would you say? Like left out. We don't coach that up as much as I think a lot of places should. Like we always talk about, oh, we need to have a good mindset, we need to have good mental toughness, but it doesn't get coached a lot, right? Like how do we coach that? So that's something I want to dive deeper on and really make sure that the girls' heads are good and they're ready to compete, not just physically but mentally. And then team bonding, like girls I think all teams need it, but I really think that girls strive when they're bonded as a team, and it only makes the program stronger. So just trying to make it fun throughout the season. It's a long, grueling season in college. Like you're in that room almost every day, whether it's established practices or not. Like most of those girls are in on the mat doing some sort of workout. So I think if we can make it fun whenever we can, I think it'll be huge and it will make the season a lot better. So yeah.
Well, you touched on some really good subjects there. Let's start with nutrition because I have been down to Eakin in Des Moines and I've stepped on that scale and he just is like, man, you got to do something. So a big part of wrestling though, as we get older, we and former wrestlers, we go one of two ways. We either kind of balloon up like myself has this last few years, or you're in incredible shape. But as a nutrition person, what are some of the most important things you're going to help bring to that team?
Yeah, one just being comfortable with food, having a good relationship with food. I feel like wrestlers have this stigma on them of bad eating habits and cutting in bad ways, like old ways, right? The old ways,
Hmm.
really trying to get rid of that and just making sure they have a good relationship with food and not developing bad food habits and creating a bad relationship that will carry on down the line, right? So just making sure they're comfortable in that and then really dialing in on what do they personally need. Like, are we trying to go down a weight class? Are we trying to go up a weight class? Like, where are they most comfortable and where are they going to perform to their best ability? I don't want, and Ken and I have talked about this, we don't want their weight to be like the main thing that they're thinking about, right? Like, you want to focus on wrestling and being able to get better at wrestling and having fun with it. So if you can get your food dialed in and right, like so we just met with them. Ekin just met with them today. Protein, carbs, fats, right? Like your basic macros seems easy, but having someone that knows it, right? I know it. There's a lot more details that go into it. But just making sure that they're comfortable with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with Joey. Why are we trying to cut to a weight just to be small? Why aren't we trying to get to where we are our strongest and at our peak performance? So that's great that I'm glad that you're there for them. I'm glad you guys have Eakin in the room because they do a great job. Next subject, you talked about, we talk about mindset all the time, but it's hard to coach, and those are difficult things. Have you started working with mindset training yet, or is that something you're really going to dive into?
Not yet, right? I've only been here a couple of days, but it's really something that I hope to dive into the next few weeks, especially when we like really start season. I just think it's huge, and I'm trying to do the best of my ability, reading books, listening to podcasts, doing all the stuff that I can to coach myself up in it, so that I can coach the girls up in it. Yeah.
Yeah, because mindset makes a huge difference. If you think you can, you probably are going to, right?
Mhm.
So that's amazing. Um, we talked about some of that stuff, what you're going to bring, the culture that you've already seen in the 1 week of time. I know it's really hard. What have you seen that's like really you're excited about?
Their attitudes. All of those girls in there, I I've been in so many different wrestling rooms, but when I walked in, so Tuesday would have been the first practice that I was at. Um, Every single girl in that room is working so hard, dripping in sweat, no complaints, good attitude, smiles on their face, running back to when we bring it up, they're running back to their spots, getting right to drilling. Like no one had to be asked to do something twice. Like they were all on it and just wanted to be there, and you could just tell. And having that attitude in the room is huge. It just makes all the world of difference when everyone feels like they want to be there and it's not draining. It's all those girls are great. I was so I don't know if shocked is the right word, but almost shocked of like, oh my gosh, okay, like this is gonna be a great year. When every single girl on that team is bought in, it makes everything great.
Yeah, I know a few of them. Like Gable Heeman. She's one of I've been on trips with Gable and she's just fantastic to have around. Let's see who else you got. Ludke's on that team and she's just a solid Iowa girl. Leah Chandler, I've been around her quite a bit. You got some really good ones. I don't know everybody. Is there some that you're like, man, that girl's really impressing me right now?
Um
And it might be too early. Might be too
oh,
early. I don't know.
there's so many in there that really just impress me. All of them do, but Kylie Rule is one, like probably heard her name quite a bit. She's a great wrestler. But more than that, like she's just a great person. Like thus far, like every interaction I've had with her, the first day, like she was asking me questions. She's on the Egan meal plan. She's always asking every question she can to get this meal plan dialed in, working on her technique, but just always has a good attitude and is willing to help all her teammates. So I've been really impressed with her, and I hope to see more from her. But I'm ready. I'm excited to see all the other girls too. Everyone's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Coach Kreiner does a good job, very good job up there. What do you think some of the things, you've had interviews with him, you've been around him for, some time, been there for a week, core values of that team, things that you really know that he's preaching?
Yeah, I know a big thing for him and for me too, I've touched on it a little bit, is just making good people, right? Like you go to Fargo and you see all these great wrestlers, right? Like if you're at Fargo Nationals or any national event, right? They're probably pretty good. There's so many good wrestlers in this country, but how many of them, like finding the ones that are good academically, how do they treat their peers? How do they treat their parents? And I know that's one that Brady's talked about, is when he's recruiting, he watches how these kids are treating their parents, because it is so big. And like, you just want to raise kids that are good people and are going to be ready for the world outside of wrestling. Like, wrestling is great and it teaches you so many things, but we want to create good people after college and set them up for success after college. So just finding kids that have good attitudes and are willing to work on everything in all aspects of their life.
Nice. For this year, how do you think you would define success on this team?
Yeah. Again, like winning is great and everyone wants to win. No one wants to lose. Losing sucks. But if you always define success by winning, it's gonna be a really tough life for you if that's how you define success. Um, I think if you're putting in your 100% effort, you're giving all you have, like on the mat. For example, if you go out there and you gave all your effort, had a good attitude, and it just didn't go your way, like I think that's all you can ask for, and that's success, right? All you can do is keep building and keep working and trying to get there. Um, yeah, so I'd say just keeping a good attitude and working hard, keeping a good effort. Control what you can control, right? Control the controllables.
Yeah. And so this question I've been asking all the coaches, and I've been talking to quite a few coaches lately. Um, Building confidence in new athletes. And this, you actually have a lot of experience because you were a senior new to wrestling. I've had a bunch of them come out as juniors and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think is the key to building confidence in newer athletes? Or, even those freshmen walk in and that step up from high school to college, but building confidence in new athletes.
Yeah, I think just really iterating that it's never too late. Like, especially in this sport, like we're just in such a good time, right? Like it's a new sport. But I just don't think that there's a time where you can start too late. I think that you're at a good time to come in, and yeah, these girls, there might be some girls that have wrestled their whole life, but it's so not easy. You have to work for it for sure, but you can get there. Like if you put the work in and the effort in, like you can get there. And so I think just like for me, I think I build a lot of confidence in girls by using my own experience. Like, hey, I didn't wrestle until my senior year of high school, so less than a year, and then I went to one of the top colleges in the country. Like if I can do it, you can do it, right? Like, and you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, whatever. Like you have so many more years than I did, and so much more potential. So I think just like personal experience, I think goes a long way with girls. Yeah. So I think I'm just trying to iterate that it's never too late, and then if you buy in, you'll see results, and it might not be right away, but if you keep buying in and you put in that work, eventually you will see results.
Awesome. So this is a question I've pondered because I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to coach. And you're just getting your feet wet in coaching. But when we talk about a legacy of a coach, we talk about what our athletes actually take from us. What is that thing that you're hoping that your athletes take from you?
Yeah. I mean, like every coach wants to be successful, and like stats and accolades are great, but really, like I want any athlete that I've coached to be like, she was there for me, like she cared about me as a person. Like if I was down and I needed help, like she was there. Like I know that I could talk to her, and she cared for me. Like she wanted me to get better on the mat. She wanted me to be successful in life, and yeah, I really think that that's like the legacy I want to leave, is just that I was a good coach, to care about them as people and like really like made an impact on their lives and not just their wrestling career.
Very good. I'm looking forward to watching you coach for several years at Wartburg, but who knows, you might expand out and stuff. And if you ever want to come back to high school, I know a place where you can go in Northwest Iowa. But let's get to know you just a little bit better. Let's go to Idaho and your family. Who's all in the family?
Oh boy. Okay. So I got I got my mom, my stepdad, my dad, my stepmom, and then I have a step little brother on my dad and stepmom side, and then I have a step older sister, a step brother that's my same age, and then a step little brother, and then my little sister is a couple years younger than me, and she just got married last weekend.
Oh wow. So you have a lot. There's a lot there. Um, where are they all over the place now?
Yeah, they're mostly in Idaho, but my little sister just moved to Utah with her husband, and then my older stepsister lives in Utah with her husband and my niece. And I guess I do have an older brother and older sister too on my dad's side.
Gotcha. Um, Pets. Did you bring any pets with you to Wartburg?
I have a dog. She's a little Pomeranian. She's like 3 pounds.
What's her
Her
name?
name's Tex.
Tex, the little Pomeranian dog. Does she think she's big?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Very
She's
much. All them little dogs do. I have a pug and he thinks he's tough. So, um, we were talking about food and wrestlers and food and relationships with food. We'll start with the nutritionist question. Post weigh-in, what are your recommendations?
okay. Recommendations. This is the Ekin in me, but super carb. So if you've heard anything about
Yep.
Ekin, you know carb. It's basically like your Gatorade, your electrolyte, but it just replenishes so much faster, and it's delicious. So super carb is like my number one, just replenishing those electrolytes and getting that energy back in you and ready to wrestle. Um, some sort of meat, so like putting like turkey on white bread with like even mustard, that's pretty good. Rice cake, yeah, any like quick carbs and just a little bit of protein and obviously water. You want to hydrate. Yeah.
Okay. And wrestlers also really love food. Um, what's your guilty pleasure food?
I I really like
Ice cream?
ice cream.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're in the same boat. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Well, currently this is like the basic white girl in me. It's fall time almost. I really like pumpkin cheesecake ice cream right now.
That sounds really good. That sounds good. You know, being back in Iowa, there's a Casey's around somewhere, right? They have a sugar cookie, frosted sugar cookie ice cream that is Casey's brand. I will tell you that it's probably one of my favorites right now. So just a little help for you.
Reese's on my that's not
Um, where if you're gonna go out to eat though, we'll use a couple. You probably don't know, you know, where you're at now. Let's say Des Moines. When we were going out in Des Moines, where was your favorite place to go out and eat?
oh goodness. Um
Or what's your favorite thing to go out and eat?
I a good steak. I love steak. Steak or sushi. Steak and sushi are like big for me. And I really try to find like local places to like a good local spot that's not a chain restaurant. So I
Hmm.
know is Iowa is it Steakhouse or Smokehouse? I think it's Steakhouse. Iowa Steakhouse. It's over by Grandview University. And my family loves it. Every time they come into town, we have to go there.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're talking my language. We have ice cream and steak and sushi. We're good to go. All right. Um, you probably get to go out every once in a while. You get to go on some vacations, I'm sure. Well, even just going back home is a vacation from Iowa. Um, what's your favorite vacation spot?
Um, I like going up in the cabin in the mountains. Is my
Okay.
favorite. So when I lived in Idaho, I lived in Boise, which is the capital, and about like you can drive up like an hour, 2 hours, and you're right in the mountains. And my family has a cabin up there, so that's my favorite.
I found that people are either mountain people or they're beach people,
I
and
like
you are.
both, but the mountains have my heart.
Do you have a bucket list place that you want to go?
Greece,
Greece.
yeah.
Nice. Is that where your family's from? Are you Greek? Don't know, don't care,
Nope,
just want to go to Greece? Nice. Binge TV. I watch a lot of shows because I'm old and I'm fat and I'm lazy, so I watch TV all the time. So what shows are you watching?
Oh, The Summer I Turned Pretty. I just finished that one. What else do I like? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, of course. I'm right there next to you. I like that one. I really like reality TV. I know it's bad, but I like The Bachelor and like all that stuff.
I think this summer I was down in Florida with the Team Iowa and stuff, and they were all watching Love Island. I tried it, man. I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
I do watch Love Island too.
I got 2 episodes in. I was like, nope, I'm done. That's enough.
Like,
Do you have a favorite movie?
The Longest Ride or 8 Seconds. Both rodeo movies, but I like those.
Both rodeo movie and good movies, very good movies. Favorite wrestling shoe?
Oh, well, we're sponsored by Nike, so I guess I should say
Are you an Inflix person?
I do really like Inflix. If I'm gonna go Nike, it's definitely Inflix. I have yet to get the new ones, so
I have
if
the new ones.
you do want to get one of those, I think I'm gonna order a pair next week. But the Inflix are solid. They're super comfortable and easy to break in.
Yeah, that's what I found. That was really my first pair of Nikes ever, and I was like, oh, they come broke in. You don't have to wear them for a couple weeks. So yeah, I really like them. Um, we're early in your career yet, but I'm gonna ask you this, and maybe it was wrestling career. Is there a point in your career, wrestling or coaching, that you're like something changed? You had more confidence in yourself, you believed in yourself, or you believed in what you were doing. Can you recall a time?
I don't know if there's like a set point in time, but I would definitely say like probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, right around Fargo of 2024, maybe a little bit before that. But that's when I could really start feeling like my confidence coming in of like, I'm good at this and like this is what I want to do. And I think even like when I was wrestling through college, like I really just took a liking to the coaching aspect of it, right? I got involved with AAU, I got involved with USA, like I was running clubs, doing practices, doing camps, all that. And I love wrestling myself. But I really took a liking to coaching and then my confidence like really started to pop off, I think, the last year and a half. And then getting to coach myself like this whole last year, it grew every single day, really. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
still progressing. I'm still getting there, but yeah.
yeah, and it takes time. Every year I learn some new stuff, and I've always had good people around me, and I grew up with some really good coaches. Who are some of those people that, you're like, man, this coach really helped me out. I'm glad I had my high school coach. I'm glad I had my college coach. Who are those coaches for you?
Excuse me. Yeah. There's so many. So please forgive me if I forget to mention some. Um, but my high school coaches really have been there for me like through it all. They one allowed me. I was the first girl ever to join wrestling at my school, and they really bought into me and like did everything to make sure I succeeded. Whether it was taking me to an all girls tournament while the guys were over here, like they made sure I was getting every opportunity possible. Sat on college phone calls with me, made sure I had the visits. Were just there for me all the way through that. And then when I got to college, I blew up my knee my freshman year. I came home and they allowed me to come back and help out with practices at home and just being around and whatever. And then anytime I needed help or advice, like I knew I could call or text them or just show up at their house. Um, and they were like that all the way through college. Anytime I accomplished something or didn't accomplish something, whatever, like they were texting me, "Hey, congrats, we were watching that match," or "Hey, like it's okay, like you'll get them next time," whatever. And then fast forward to here we are coaching, and they're super thrilled when I went back to Idaho to coach, and then this last year at Fargo when I kind of was deciding that I'd be open to other opportunities, they really pushed me to um, go for it. And like they knew that I would do well in college and they knew that's what I wanted to do. I was kind of, oh, like I don't know if I should right now. I don't know if I should pick up my whole life and move across the country. And they like pushed me to like, you'll regret it if you don't. So yeah, my high school coaches are actually married. Yeah. So my high school coach, his wife joined like to help coach so that I had a female in the room. And so those two have like been there for me through it all. And then my club coach, same thing. He was the assistant coach at the time at my high school. And anytime I come back from college, I'd go back and train at his club, and he made sure I was getting the best practice partners possible. All those kids in that room are D1 right now. So I had great practice partners there, and he made sure that I wasn't treated different just because I was a girl. And then there's like the coaches that I got to coach under. There's so many of them, but yeah, there's a
That's no,
ton.
that's great. That's really cool that that's really cool that your coach's wife decided to coach, so you had that female presence in the room because it's super important, right? And I've said that for a long time, and people say, well, I just treat them just like I treat any boy, and you can't because you're different, and so I think that's really awesome. I know that um, most of the girls don't want to grow up to look like me. They would prefer to grow up and be something, be you, so it's such an important uh, thing to have.
Yeah.
Can you think of somebody throughout your career that inspires you? It's different now, and you're done with college and stuff, and I know it's a little different, but man, I still look at like Helen Maroulis, and I look at, you know, uh, Sarah Hildebrandt, and they inspire me to just, God, I want to help my girls get to that level or be something like that. Is there someone that you really looked up to while you were wrestling?
Yes and no. So I think it's maybe just because I started so late. I don't know. I really never dove into like watching and idolizing all those high level wrestlers when I was younger, like through my early stages of wrestling. I definitely do. I watch a lot more now. Um, but we got Allie Regan as a coach
Yeah.
my sophomore year of college, and me being so young, I did not know who she was. Sorry, Allie. But of course, I got hired on, looked her up right away, learned about her, and then I idolized her. But not just because, like, oh my God, she's Allie Regan. She's done all this stuff, right? Like, she has. She's an amazing wrestler and has done a lot of things. But I remember the first practice that she came to, we were in the men's room at Grandview, and she's like, "Hey, like let's practice together." And I was like, "Oh, me? What?" Like, so it like she just always was there, and like still is. Like I know that I could text her any day for anything, and she would be there. So just her as a person is someone that I idolize and like still brag about. Like, yeah, she was my coach because she's awesome. Like she was an amazing wrestler, but she's also an amazing person. So yeah, she was
Yeah.
probably up to.
Allie is fantastic. I absolutely love her to death. She did this. I met her through Grandview also, and stuff. And then she did the show or did the podcast once with me too. So even sent me an Iowa State shirt right after that. So that was pretty
Yeah.
cool too. So yeah, what a great person. Um, your coaches, your high school coach, I know they probably said something to you over and over and over and over again that you'll remember for the rest of your life. What coach's phrase did they say?
Oh, I don't know if I can say that. It's honestly, it wasn't like super inspirational. It was just get tough. Like just be tough. How good do you want to be? Like you can sit here and cry, or you can get tough and we can keep working. And I remember literally bawling sometimes in practice because it was just so hard. Like they were intense practices, and they never like I think you got to adjust, right, on each individual person. For me, I didn't need to be babied at that time. Like, and I have no problem babying someone. If that's what they need and that's what's going to get them up and going, like, that's great. I didn't need that at the time. I needed, are you going to be strong? Are you going to be tough? Like, do you want to win? Like, do you want to be good? Like, then let's get up and go. I needed that, and that's what they did. And so it's always stuck with me. But I also understand that not every athlete needs that, but that's what I needed. And so it's always stuck with me.
Yeah. And now that you're at Wartburg, you know, the coaching tree from Wartburg to Grandview and so now we got, Jim Miller coached, Coach Mitchell, Coach Crinzy, Coach Cringy coached you. Now you're coaching at Wartburg. What is something that you heard from Coach Crinzy that probably went all the way back to Coach Miller?
Oh my gosh. I
Probably most of it.
honestly, yeah, probably most of it. And Quincy, he talks more than you think he would talk. So, like, yeah, he's pretty inspirational. He likes to talk a lot. Same thing with Mitchell and Reedy. Like, yeah. So probably literally everything that they've said has probably all came back to here. And now we're just doing a full circle.
Yeah, it's cool because it is because Coach Miller is just an incredible person to listen to, and I know he coached Mitchell and Mitchell. Man, when I met him, I was like, holy crap, this guy is awesome, and Crinzy's great, and you're great. So it's kind of
Like,
fun to see that kind of come all the way around. Um,
I'll talk about is just effort, like controlling your effort and attitude. And so I think that that's probably a big thing that stuck with me. Obviously, championship lifestyle, but that's under such like such a big
yeah,
dome falls under, and effort and attitude are a big thing that all those coaches hone in on. So I think that's a big reason why I hone in on it too. Yeah.
awesome. So let's go back to your wrestling. What's your favorite takedown?
Step down, go behind. I just think basic, but it's so good. It's so
Well,
good.
that's the number one takedown in wrestling right now is snap down, go behind. So if you do you coach? I've been doing this, and I'm just asking because I try to teach girls to take a shot without hitting a knee.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing a lot of that in your room, or
Um, a little bit. I think again, like it really just depends on the wrestler. Like some of those girls are so explosive where they can just hit a knee pound and drive up with it. Some of them don't need to hit a knee and like are better off without it and go. So it's kind of just tailoring to what each girl needs. Yeah. Definitely easier if they're a little bit more on the green side to just not hit a knee and go.
yeah? And maybe that's why I've been doing it because we have a lot of new ones in the high school. So on top, freestyle. How are you turning people? What's your turn?
I know we're freestyle, but I bar arm all day. Every I think what did I have? I had the record for most pins in a season, and it was with the bar arm.
Well, I've seen a lot of them in international competition, usually from the United States, but I think it's getting more and more used, because it works.
It
It's
worked.
probably it's the number one thing we teach too in the high school. Can you think back to your few matches of folk style because you didn't, well, you coached folk style last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your off the bottom move then?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I was so happy to get to freestyle when I was in high school. Terrible at bottom. I was terrible. Um, let's see. Honestly, when I was there, maybe a switch, and then teaching it. I like Granby's a lot.
Oh yeah, that works really well.
Yeah.
Very good. Um, let's look here. I got just a few questions left. If you could change, and now we're gonna go to, God, do we go college rules? Yeah, we'll go college rules. So if you could change any rule in wrestling, what would that be?
Oh, I think. I don't know. In high school? No. Okay.
Either way, you can go either way. I don't care.
No. I'm not. I don't know. They're kind of tough, especially in college, because they in freestyle. I feel like they change them so frequently.
Yes, they do.
What rules do we have right now?
Yeah.
What would I change? I don't know. Maybe more points for a takedown.
You like the 3 point high school take and college, yeah, high school men or college men high school takedown three. I kind of like it too.
I didn't like it at first, but then when I coached folk style this last season, I think I like the 3 point takedown. And then you can keep the throws all the same points, but I like the 3 point takedown.
Yeah, and it's amazing how fast the points add up when you get 3 point takedowns and two,
Mm,
3, and 4 point near falls in high school. Holy crap! Next thing you know, you're down by 12 and it's only like 30 seconds, and you're like, what just happened?
yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
happened to me a lot. Um, two questions left. Wrestling has taught me to blank.
Be gritty in all aspects of everything. On the mat, in life, in work, like literally everything, just be gritty, which again, it's a dome of things, but just putting your nose down and just working, right? Like you're not gonna get anything handed to you, so you just gotta work for it. And I think if you can grit through the good times and the bad times, yeah.
Awesome. I like it. And then the last thing I always do is a final thoughts. You're back in Iowa, you're at Wartburg. What do you want to let everybody know?
Oh, sorry, my phone's let's see. Just I'm thankful for everyone that's been in my corner this whole time and cheering me on, and everyone that's helped me get to this point. And I love Iowa. That's something that I'll stand strong on. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're gonna go back there." I love it, and yeah, oddly enough, especially coming from Idaho, people always question me with the mountains and the flatness. If you want to be anywhere that's like loves wrestling this much, Iowa is the place to be on all levels, like from youth, club, high school, college, all levels. It is so loved, and you can go anywhere and go in any room, and you will be supported and get good partners. So yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
excited.
this is
I'm thankful for everyone for allowing me this opportunity.
awesome. And yeah, Iowa, it's crazy how many colleges have women's wrestling now in the state of Iowa at all levels, JUCO, NAIA, Division three. We have a Division two and Division one schools. It's nuts.
It
But
is,
no, it's great to see you back in Iowa. I appreciate you coming on and doing this, and I look forward to seeing how well you do and where you go from here.
of course. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for that. I
Thank,
appreciate it.
thank you.